Tansei. Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa J. I'm a member of the Métis Nation of Alberta, the current Indigenous Director for the Canadian Counseling and Psychotherapy Association, or the CCPA, and I'm also a registered psychologist in Alberta. I'm making this video in support of our call on the federal government to reinstate Canadian Certified Counselors, or CCCs, nationwide into the Non-Insured Health Benefits NIHB program for First Nations and Inuit. The CCC certification represents successful evaluation of a member's qualifications to practice. As a non-statutory self-regulating body, CCPA provides advice and discipline for members on matters of professional conduct. So when CCCs in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Newfoundland, and Labrador were delisted from the NIHB program in 2015, this led to numerous disruptions of Inuit and First Nation people's mental health care. As an Indigenous psychologist myself in Alberta, I'm a provider with NIHB, and while my schedule is full, I'm not aware of other Indigenous mental health practitioners who are also providers with NIHB and available. Sometimes these sessions are covered by NIHB, and many times I offer pro bono care as Métis people are not covered by NIHB. Since CCCs were delisted, the number of NIHB providers have become limited in Alberta, and most importantly, there are very few who are Indigenous. So for NIHB, reinstating the CCCs nationwide will ensure that those reaching out have access to mental health care when they need it. It will also ensure that they have choice in who they see without having to navigate the healthcare system, which includes long wait times to see a counselor who is simply assigned to them. When it comes to government-funded care through NIHB, the most troubling part of the delisting of CCCs in all 4 provinces is that there's a vague written exception that notes CCCs can continue offering care through NIHB in unique and rural circumstances. That said, as we heard from my friend and colleague Dee in her video, this exception does not include Indigenous counselors with a CCC designation. In Henry's video, she speaks to the importance of having the choice to work with an Indigenous counselor. Having this choice offers another level of care without having the inherent emotional labor that is required in explaining what it means to be Indigenous. Instead, Indigenous clients can jump right into their session and talk about what it is that they reached out about in the first place. Counselors and psychotherapists with the designation of CCC are guided by the CCPA's Code of Ethics. And this Code of Ethics is one of the only national bodies with an Indigenous practice standards included. I want to share one. Awareness of historical and contemporary contexts. Counselors and therapists understand the impacts of the helping profession in contributing to the historical, political, and socio-cultural harms endured by Indigenous peoples here in Canada. Counselors and therapists seek knowledge to understand and articulate the effects that colonization has on Indigenous peoples. We call on the federal government to reinstate the CCCs nationwide into the NIHB program and to immediately make Indigenous CCCs a priority. This is the bare minimum since the NIHB is federally funded and required in order for First Nation and Inuit to access care. Indigenous peoples should not have to pay out of pocket in order to receive mental health support due to long wait times. Please join us. Kineniskomatin, I'm grateful for you.